Well, we're getting ready. Y'all hang on. Y'all hang on. I want you to grab your pen and paper because we're about to take this thing off in 8 seconds. Right about now, ladies and gentlemen. So, here, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you guys are warming up to. This is my next single, not next single. One of the songs that we released off the country album, My Life, My Story. Now, you guys on TikTok, y'all can't hear this, but we're going to try to turn it up just a little bit. We're getting ready to take off, y'all, so y'all get in. Got the paper that you need. We're going to do some deep dive.
Do you ever get tired of being the best thing that ever happened to a fool like me? Always turning my bad days into small town dreams, turning this old heartbreak into something sweet. Tell me, baby, do you ever get tired of being the best thing that ever happened to me?
Y'all, today, appreciate you for coming in. Y'all come on in the room. Come on in the room. We're going to take this thing off, ladies and gentlemen. And do I have a good podcast and live for you guys tonight? Tonight, I'm going to give you that paperwork. Actually, it's going to be a deep dive. And no, we're not going to hit on this. But, yes, this one here is how to autograph your name according to the UCC, which I gave you guys a breakdown on that already. I gave you guys a breakdown. Remember, I told you that it was a way. Now, there is documented proof that this is a way. Now, all of my clients and students get this paperwork on how to properly autograph their bills for UCC. I don't think TikTok can hear me. Let me turn my mic on. Y'all guys, bear with me just one quick second. Boom. There we go. You guys should be able to hear me now on TikTok, and you guys should be able to hear me on the podcast. So if you can hear me, everybody put a 1 real quick, just so I can make sure that both of these mics are working. I got one of my lapel pins going to one camera, and then I have my podcast studio mic going to the other camera. So if you can hear me, make sure that you put a 1, a very quick 1, right into the messages right there. All right, everybody must can hear me because nobody's putting a 1, or y'all can't hear me. I don't know, but we're gonna keep right on rocking and rolling. All right, Exquisite MAD can hear me on the mic. Appreciate you, Exquisite, and just give me one person off of TikTok. Y'all just drop a 1 real quick if y'all can hear me, man, just so I can keep right on moving. Then we're gonna get y'all this paperwork. All right. The second form that I give you guys is how to discharge debt to the trustee. That's the second one that you get. Y'all get this one on learning how to discharge your debt to trustee. So all of this is in my packet. And then hold up. This one here tells you how to get into that postage. Now, look, y'all see how much I paid for this? Y'all see how much I paid for this? And I'm just dropping this to y'all for free. Y'all see how much I dropped on this course. And, man, you ought to just give it to us for free. What? And then it breaks it down and tell you how to do this. It tells you how to do this. Y'all see all these marks and stuff out of here, man? You won't get this with no other influencer. You won't get that with no other influencer. And the last one is your notice and acknowledgement under the notary that puts you into negotiating instruments. It teaches you how. It teaches you how to negotiate with an instrument. Now, tonight's podcast and this information I'm going to give you guys tonight. Let's start with this one first. Anybody can start a business. Anybody can. but every person shouldn't. And there are some reasoning behind that. We touched on this a little bit in the past 2 times when we was talking about the matrix, because the ones who shouldn't start the business are the ones who are not going to put in the work to pick up and understand the language and the terms when a person who you are potentially courting as an investor or even the bank. See, the people that shouldn't are the ones, they starting a business for the wrong reason. You never start a business. You never start a business to make money. Now, that's going to throw some people. And the ones that it's going to throw are the ones who are going to jump off. Those are the ones that jump off, and the ones that are through are the ones that will be out of business in less than a year. Why is that? They are going to siphon all of the business's money and put it into their personal pocket. This is why you should never get in business to make money. Your thinking has to shift. In the book called Bible, it says, well, when you have given your life over to do good, and you're making up in your mind that you are doing this thing for the betterment of your life, old things are passed away, and everything has become new. Now, what does that mean when it relates to business? You cannot bring that old employee mindset of hustling over to being the boss. You can't. You can't. One, employees are only concerned with when they're going to get their check. All I want is my money. I showed up, did my job with my money. I can't give me my money, man. I got to pay my bills, my money. Blah, 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 blah. Bosses don't think like that. Anybody ever wonder the difference between a wage and a salary? There is a difference, fam. I got to turn this air off. Uh-oh. I'm out here in my shop. There is a difference, a huge difference between a wage and a salary. Wages are based off of a person who has traded their time for dollars. Jobs that pay every week. But the owners and all salary personnel get paid once a month. Now, think in your mind, who's coming out on the better end of the stick? And why would anybody agree to get paid once a month? And they cool with it. And I guarantee you, their car still looks better than yours. And they get a check once a month. They living better than you. They dressing better than you. They eating better than you. See, they going to Trader Joe's and Whole Foods, and you still shopping at Save-A-Lot and Aldi's. And you get paid every week. And y'all still think that that's a good thing? See, this is why old things got to be put away. If you are trying to operate and conduct your business under the old paradigm of how to do business, that hustling from hand to hand, you can't run a business like that. A business makes money off of purchase orders. And you out here trying to make the stuff and then go out there and find somebody that'll buy it. let that marinate in your spirit now for a little bit. Let that just sit for a minute. An actual business, he don't sell the product, he sells the purchase orders. He goes out and finds these manufacturers. No, he don't find manufacturers because he's doing the manufacturing. He goes out and finds wholesalers or what they call distributors. And he get them people to go out or salespeople. He might have some salespeople that's working in the company. The salespeople go out there and sell it. But what they are selling are what they call a standing purchase order. He will go out there and he'll get other people to commit in the blind, no product in hand, 1,000, 10,000 unit purchase order. You guys have heard me tell the story about when I was, I had the purchase order, or I had the contract deal with the #1 turkey call company in the country. I'm going to show y'all this real quick. This is in my leather business. This turkey caller is called the Real Hen. Y'all see that? Real Hen. Turkey caller. There it is. Real Hen. Y'all can see this ain't no joke. Real Hen. I negotiated the deal. I can always talk myself into stuff. Y'all guys didn't see that on TikTok. Real Hen. The #1 turkey caller in the United States of America. I had talked, these people are like the Duck Dynasty in the turkey world. I negotiated and talked myself into this, making these holsters, these leather holsters for this product. This thing is like a glove, a hand and a glove. It fits in there. And the one problem that I solved, this man put a 10,000 unit purchase order for these. It would have put me in Bass Pro Shop. That was the start. When I told my advisor about it, my advisor said, "Cowboy, that is unheard of." And the company that makes these was going to share shelf space with me to put these right there on what you call the on the shelf or the man, I forget the proper name for that thing now, but it's going to be right there on the rack inside the plastic case, hanging right there next to this turkey call. So when a customer walks into Bass Pro Shop, now these people were already in Bass Pro Shop all over the country, and then there my product was right there next to theirs. My advisor told me, he said, "Cowboy, that's unheard of for a brand new business to have automatic shelf space." Now, this ain't boasting or bragging. I'm giving y'all the lesson. Why, when you go after the money, you will lose. So we had to negotiate a deal. I went in trying to sell it to them, and I thought it was a good price. This is 2 pieces. I had worked the pattern on poster paper, like I still currently do today. When somebody wants a custom piece, I'll make it out of poster paper first till I get it exactly the way that I want it to be. Then I commit and cut it to leather. See, this knife sheath right here, and I'm giving y'all an example, taking y'all somewhere. This is 1 piece. 1 piece for somebody to carry their custom knife in. This was 2 pieces. So I felt comfortable negotiating that price. Walk in and I know everybody needs to everybody got to have a little skin in the game. And I felt comfortable selling it to them at $59.99, which is, that's a retail price. This is how I didn't know. I was going after that money. So $60. And I figured that they were going to mark it up to at least $79, $89, because they're making free money in my mind. In my mind, they were making free money. They didn't have to make these. I did. My material, my time, I should make the bulk of the money. Ooh, contraire, mon frere. Contraire. No, business don't work like that. See, this is the things that I didn't know, and this is what I'd be trying to save you guys from making those same mistakes. When you are the manufacturer, you are the cheapest. When you are the one making the product, you are the cheapest. Now, I leave this on my shelf in my shop as a reminder. As a reminder. Don't make this mistake again. Don't ever make the same mistake twice. It can cost you everything. And it happens to people who go after the money first. It's the same way when somebody goes to prison or get put in jail, and they come out thinking that they done found a better way how to be a better criminal. That's the most asinine, dumbest thing that you can ever do. You ain't learned nothing. And guess what happens to them, ladies and gentlemen? Bada boo, bada bing. They right back in the pokey. They right back in there. Because you can't come up with a better way to do the wrong thing. It's no such thing. So anyway, moving this thing right along. He put a purchase order in for 10,000 units. But we need to have these by next turkey season because it was the anniversary of their product. I said, oh, man. I had already chopped it up, ran the lowdown to my advisor who has manufacturers all over the world. He said, man, that's not a problem, cowboy. He said, man, I can get these things made in China for like $2,000-$3,000 a piece. I said, what? See, manufacturers always cheapest. Now, it was no way that I can compete with China or Mexico or the DR. But there's definitely no way I can get these things made in Mexico. So I went back and told him, hey, yeah, before we even signed the contract, I said, yeah, good. Let's run with it, man. I said, I can get them made. And that's why I messed up at, ooh. See, remember I told y'all? Things you got to listen for while you are moving around in the matrix. He said, wait a minute. He said, who is we? I said, I've been consulting with my advisor, and I'm thinking I'm shooting some fine game. Oh, yeah, I've been consulting with my advisor down in Florida who's a major hitter in the industry, and he was telling me that we can get these done overseas, offshore, for $2-3. No, I spoke too much. But see, I was going after that money. You see how going after the money makes you, it put blinders on? I didn't care what I said. I saw $60. Listen now, hold up, stop. I saw $60 a piece. I'm thinking about my money. I don't care how much money anybody else makes. I ain't never been no pocket watcher. I just know what I need to make. Now, run this back. First time ever in a major department store. I've been in business because I was siphoning money out of the business to pay personal bills. Y'all see where this is going? I don't know if anybody else going to be this transparent with y'all, but I don't have nothing to lose because now, all right, let's keep the story moving. He said, no. And these are some good old boys out of Moultrie, Alabama. Moultrie is right in between Anniston, Alabama, or Heflin, Alabama, Oxford, let's say Oxford, Alabama, and the Georgia line, which is Villa Rica. Villa Rica is going further east, Cedartown, Georgia, and Rome is going north. And to the west is the Alabama line. Oxford, well, it's Moultrie, Moulton. I keep telling y'all wrong because Moultrie is down by Birmingham. Moulton, Heflin, Oxford, Anniston, and then Gaston, my city. Going back west. So anyway, he said no. He said if it's made over there, I don't want it. I don't want nothing made not on U.S. soil. Now I'm panicking. Simple math, y'all. And I like to use because it's a chapter in my new book called Dope Boy Economics. This is how most new business owners calculate their money. We use dope boy mathematics. Simple times 10. Yeah. We screw it up every time with dope boy economics. The dope boy economics, you ever notice? Now, I ain't been a saint. I ain't been no saint all my life. I'm still not a saint now. But some things I have walked away from. Y'all ever notice that in the business world, when you buy stuff out of the store, it's $49.99, $49.88. It's weird stuff, prices like that. But in the street prices, everything is on increments of 10. Hey, man, let me get a dime back. Hey, man, let me get a 20 cent. Let me get a quarter. See, that's simple dope boy economics. Man, what the 3.5 going for? It's always going to end in 0. 5 or 0. Because quick mathematics, 5, 10, 50, 20, that's just how dope boys do their math. So I got 10,000 units at $60 a piece using dope boy economics. Y'all do the math. First time in Bass Pro Shop with shelf space. Now, when you know about real estate and a retail market, in some stores, it's $1 million a linear foot to put stuff on their shelf. Let's think big global brands like Walmart. Y'all know, in order for you to put something on Walmart shelves, 13 inches, that's a linear foot. It's $1 million. And then Walmart, being the conglomerate that it is, and I'm not veering out too far in the weeds, I'm going to circle back, but I'm trying to take y'all somewhere. In order to put stuff in Walmart, Walmart has such a big, huge name. You, as the manufacturer, got to send it to Walmart for free. Walmart don't do purchase orders. Walmart does not do purchase orders. You got to send that stuff to Walmart for free. And then as Walmart sells it, they're sending your money at the end of the month. See, that's the power in the position that you want your business to be in. To where if something is in Walmart, manufacturers and warehouses and makers, they already know it's going to sell. It's not even a matter of when it's going to sell. If something is in Walmart, have you ever gone into Walmart and it's empty? Never. Even on holidays when they close, they got people in there working, stacking them shelves up for the very next day that they're going to open. Now, back to the story. He said, if it comes from overseas, I don't want it. And now I'm panicking. I called my advisor back before I even get to the truck to leave. I said, Kevin, I think I just messed up. No, I ain't even called his name. I said, man, I think I just messed up. He said, what? I said, man, he don't want it if it ain't made in America on American soil. He said, that's okay, man. He said, I got manufacturers warehouses in Mexico. I said, look, man, I said, he don't want it if it's not made on U.S. soil. He says, Cowboy, I've been doing business long enough. This is the first time I learned what white labeling was. Some of you never heard that term, white labeling. If you've heard the term white labeling, drop a 1. I ain't got time to wait. White labeling is this right here. When you have such a business relationship, China will put whatever made in your product that you want. I didn't even know that was a thing. Because why? I was going after the money. I never knew anything about white labeling. So for those of you who have a product and y'all trying to push and sell product, man, you can get stuff made offshore. You can get stuff made offshore. And you can get stuff made offshore. And you can still, it can still say made in America. I'm trying to fix my lights, y'all. Y'all give me a minute. It can still say made in America, and it was made straight out of China. Is that fair? Maybe not, but that's business. Y'all remember years ago, Walmart got caught because Walmart was saying made in the USA? And it was made in Taiwan? Did y'all stop going to Walmart because it was made in Taiwan? No, y'all didn't. So it don't matter. And for all of those, who's talking, man, I only want a made in America product. Man, if it ain't made in America, I don't want it. Yeah. Well, go ahead and take you a screwdriver and take down that RCA, Mitsubishi, Panasonic, MCA, Roku. Y'all thought Roku was English? Y'all take that TV, flat screen TV off your wall if you don't want nothing made in America. You take that iPhone out your pocket and throw it in a tub of battery acid because your iPhone is not made in America. It might be assembled in America. See, remember when I told y'all when people start getting caught on mass numbers and doing mass things, when a lot of people collectively start cutting corners and drawing too much attention, now the laws change. You don't have to say made in America because that's committing fraud. So what companies start doing? Outsourcing the parts. Having the parts shipped in. And now all they have to say is assembled, which means we just put it together. We didn't build it. We just assembled it. Part A go to part B, C, D. See, for all those who remember, those of y'all back in the day when Harley Davidson was bragging about made in America, and then they found out that the Harley motorcycle parts were made in India. Why? Stop it. Take off your rubber Jordans or your Kanye's, your Nikes, because you ain't never found a rubber tree in the United States. So what the hell are they getting the rubber for the soul? Rubber trees don't even grow in the United States. So where the hell are y'all getting the rubber from? Huh? Everybody want to drive a Bentley? Everybody want to drive a Maybach? A Range Rover? Huh? That Corinthian leather is not made in America. When have you ever seen a Corinthian cow? I'll wait. Huh? So this is what I mean by there are things that we have to pay attention while we're moving about in the matrix, because sometimes we can trick ourselves. Now, keeping on with the story, because I got to stay on time. Needless to say, I went back and I told him, I didn't tell him this time. I was smart. Remember, I learned. I put things in the cloud until it's time for me to pull them out the cloud and use them. That's the whole premise of AI. Anything that you type on, well, we're going to get to that one on another time. But I send all information to the cloud. That's why I read. This is how I've created the persona about the info plug. I read things that nobody else is having an interest in because they don't even know that it even exists. Like you guys never knew that you can do this thing called white labeling. Look that up. White labeling is I can put a made anywhere in the world. Now, there's a secondary strategy to white labeling by simply rerouting to another country that has a better brand building name than China or Mexico, because the stigma is if it's made in China or Mexico, it's made cheap. But I can tell my manufacturers in China to reroute the package to Italy, where Corinthian leather has a better name. Or I can have it sent to Europe, where European blends are a better quality of cows because they have free range cows in Europe. No barbed wire fences. So there are no what we call range marks. Sometimes that cow rub up against that barbed wire fence, scratching a tick or a flea or something, and then a scar the hide. You don't have that in European leather because they don't scratch up against nothing. They feed them a different grain. See, all of this stuff comes into what you should be learning about your business as opposed to chasing after the money. When you chase after that money, you'll never catch it. Funny how that works. You will never catch money. It's too fast. But here's the funny thing, ladies and gentlemen. When you stop chasing the money, money will run you down like it owes you child support. That's the craziest thing. When you stop chasing after money, so a lot of people get angry or upset or they think I'm arrogant, which I ain't trying to be arrogant, I just be telling the truth. I can't stop making money. I stopped chasing it. I don't trade my time for dollars anymore. Man, now I'm chasing after sleep, and sleep is running away from me right now because I can't turn this thing off. I was talking to a friend of mine this day is Monday, so this is probably Wednesday or Thursday. And I told him this right here. I said, no, I don't have people join because I don't have time to answer a whole bunch of questions. I got to get all this information out. So I appreciate you guys for trying to join, but this is not that type of platform. I don't want to do a whole bunch of back and forth and arguing and kicking folks out. I ain't got time for all that. I know what I'm talking about is right and exact. You can fact check me. I leave an open invitation for anybody to fact check me. But I was telling them, I said, man, they said, man, how business going? I said, man, look, man, I wish that I can tell the creator, stop, I can't take no more. I don't want no more. But I'm scared if I say that out in the universe publicly and mean it like in an affirmation type setting, as opposed to me just talking about it. Sometimes you can cut your blessings off by putting certain things in the atmosphere. So I just keep taking them. Now, there's one thing that you should be aware of. You should always be aware and cognizant of who's giving you the blessing. You need to make sure you verify where your blessings are coming from. See, some of y'all need to read the book. In the book of Isaiah, it speaks of the God of both good and evil. Ooh. Did a lot of y'all skip over that verse? Who is being spoken of right now? And sometimes when Satan can't trap you with certain tricks and gold trinkets and ornaments. See, I'm beyond all of that name brand stuff. I rock my own product. Y'all see? I rock my own product. I don't want nobody else stuff. You can't entice me with Louis Vuitton and Gucci and all that stuff like you do regular folks. I'm not regular. This is how I've been able to stay in business as long as I have. Ain't nothing about me regular. You can't trap me up with that stuff. You can't trap me up with rims and tent and speakers and trying to beat down and rattle the windows. You can't attempt me with stuff like that. You can't even send no overly glorified, made up woman who went to Dr. Miami. She didn't go to Mexico to get her BBL. You can't entice me with that stuff. So sometimes Satan can come to you with a blessing of good, but it's evil intentions attached to it. So you gotta know where you getting the blessing from. Who giving it to you? Anyway, let's move along. So I wound up saying, forget it. I'm just gonna make them. But anyway, me and my advisor came up with this right here. He said, Cowboy, he said, do y'all got a women's shelter somewhere around there? And this is when I was in Alabama. I said, yeah, 2 or 3 of them around here. He said, go over there. Those women are needing financial help. And tell them that you are going to pay them by the piece. You're supplying the material. All they have to do is sew it. And you take them 100 pieces. They ain't got nowhere else to go. They ain't got nothing else to do. But they would love to welcome the money. And then you're helping out somebody who's in a bad spot. As uneasy as I felt listening to it, my mind was, guess where? On that 600,000. That's what my mind was. I ain't never made that kind of money in my life. See what I tell you? Those who go after the money instead of after building the business and the brand, money will run from you. I went back over to pick these things up after a week. Showed them how to do it. Some of them women were calling me in the middle of the week, talking about they needed a little money to buy food, man. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to tell the women no. And I knew they was in a bad situation. See, this is why a lot of times you can't hire friends and family. Because people will pull on your heartstrings. But as a business person, if that's going to be a weakness for you, you don't need to start a business because everybody going to do it. This is why you don't hire people in your family. Y'all know them family members that's in your family that have had 18 jobs in 3 months. You better not hire their ass. You better not hire that dude. You better not hire that friend. I don't. No, bro. Here, let me give you I'm going to refund you your money. Just so I didn't know hard feelings. Nope. Refuse. I have turned away more people than I have actually helped. I have turned away more people than I actually helped. Why? I'm not going to put this loaded gun in your hand. And you are a 5-year-old. You're going to mess it up. You're going to mess it up for everybody. Then, if the business doesn't close, they get jacked up with the IRS. And they don't know how to protect it. Because once they learn how to start the business, how to get the bank accounts, and how to get the loans, I learned this early on. They stopped working the business. And now they in trouble because somebody got to pay that loan back. And then they done married their social security number to the business. That's why when I teach all of that stuff last. I make your butt go through all of the information first. Yeah. My classes might be long, but by the time you get through, you'll know how to protect your business. That's another person that don't need to start no business. One who can't pay attention. If you can't sit through 45 minutes to an hour once a week and learn how to protect your business one day, 1 hour out of 1 day out of 7. If you can't sit still that long, you do not need to be in business, because this information in business don't never stop. Do y'all see what's happening in Congress? Do y'all see what's happening up there? Let me tell you something. I touched on this earlier today. Do you guys know that Nigeria, yeah, y'all don't know. Y'all might know. Nigeria, in the next 4 years, will be in the top 3 countries in the world with the highest GDP. In 4 years. World economists, world financiers, yeah, I said that right. This is already predicted. So here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. This is the part that everybody else missed that was listening to that segment. In the next 4 years, which is only 4 years ain't long, if they're going to be in the top 3 behind China and Dubai, that knocks out Europe and the United States. China, Dubai, and Nigeria will be the top 3 GDPs, highest GDPs in the world. That means, the part that everybody missed, that means they are already in the top 10. What does that mean for you as a business owner in the United States who is still fighting and arguing and talking about our ancestry from over across the water? I don't give a damn what you say. We already know through modern science that Africa is the root of all civilization. I don't care how much you think your great grandmama is a Cherokee. Why is that the fascination with black people? I'm talking to melanated people right now. Why is there such a damn fascination with Cherokees and black people? I have never understood that. Do y'all know that it's 574 native tribes on record today? And black people, damn near majority, want to claim Cherokee. funniest thing in the world, man. Funniest thing in the world. Now, here's the thing. When those of you who are getting ready to try to do your privatized citizenship or your privatization, don't put that on your paperwork native. Because they're going to ask you what tribe, and you damn sure don't know. And please don't do no ancestry.com. Wow. No, don't do ancestry.com for those of you who are trying to claim your nationality. Go all the way back to before what brought the natives to Western Hemisphere. See, some of y'all ain't digging your history back far enough. When you claim your national status, you need to go to Moroccan, when the Moroccan Empire ruled the entire world for 300 years. You ain't got to argue with me, do your research. It was the Moroccan Empire, where it was black people. Well, let's not even go there. Because that's me teaching, that's me doing belief and ideology. Just go read some books. But anywho, you got to be careful with what you claim on that national status. Because if you haven't gone in front of a tribal council, those people have their own government. That tribal council is completely separate from the federal government. They ain't got nothing to do with each other. And you don't have no paperwork other than what one of your cousins done told you what great grandmama is. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. Now, here's the thing, and I'm going to leave y'all with this. When you start these businesses, there is so much that you should know before you even start it. Secondly, here's another thing you shouldn't do. I don't even know what number I'm on. This is another thing what you should never do if you're trying to be a boss and set yourself free. You should not own anything. Why? Everything that you own makes you responsible for the taxation. Anything that you own. That's not me talking. That's in the IRS tax code. If your name is on it, your government name, the name that's on your birth certificate and your Social Security card, if you own it, you got to pay for it. You got to pay for it, which is related to your Social Security card, as well as all of the taxes that are incurred on it. Now, here's the thing. Now, let's go back to you people who are trying to be private citizens. A private citizen don't own nothing. Because it's you got to get off into ownership, assets, and liabilities. You can't play the hokey pokey with your privatized citizenship. You cannot. You can't have some of your stuff. Now, I'm gonna give you a free game. Drop this down. All right. Whether you're renting or leaving, then we got to get off of this thing because I got 5 minutes to drop this free game to you. Right? Free game. And all this is in that paperwork that I was telling y'all about. How to autograph your bills according to the UCC, how to discharge your debt. All of this is in there. And how to properly mark out and retransfer that debt to the straw man. And you'll notice on how to negotiate instrument. Now, for those of you taking my course, you guys already know I'll send y'all that paperwork. Not at the appointed time, I'll send you that paperwork. At the appointed time, I will send you that paperwork. You don't get that out of pocket. No, you screw it up. Now, when you get stuff in your name, you can't play the hokey pokey. Now, what that simply means is, this is what you need to do. If you are owning a house, if you are buying a house, you can quick deed. Follow these steps. If you own the house, you need to create you a property management business. Don't create no daggone real estate company. You got to be licensed to have a real estate company. You don't need a license to have a management company. So you want to create a property management company. And you want to quick deed that house. Y'all do your research on what that means, how to do it. Because you can't go in that bank and tell them, oh man, I quick deeded that house to a business. They're going to activate a clause out of them 200 pages that they gave you that you didn't read. They're going to activate a clause and then demand total payment. And you ain't got that. See, that's what opening up your mouth, moving in the matrix and not paying attention. Moving in the matrix and not paying attention. And not paying attention. So, but what you want to do is, this is ultimately what you're going to do. You're going to quick deed that house to the property management company. Now, the property management company owns the deed. Now, the house is out of your name. Oh, you're welcome. Now, your property management company can now rent the house to you on paper. They can rent the house to you at the same exact cost of the mortgage with a little gravy on it. So if your mortgage is $1,150, rent it to yourself for $1,300 so the business can make some money. Let the business make some money. Well, man, I need the money. Who owns the business? You got control of the money. This is what you're doing with the money. Left hand, right hand. Sometimes you don't let the right hand, left hand. You don't let the right hand know what the left hand is doing. So you tell the left hand is saying, hey, you need to pay me rent money. Okay. How much you want? Man, I need $1,500 a month. Okay. $1,500. Here's your rent money, Mr. Left Hand. Right, see you next month. Guess what? The right hand don't own it. The left hand do. But it's out of the right hand's name on paper. Now, you're giving your property management business time to earn income. The business needs to make money, not your ass. You don't need to earn nothing. The business needs to make money. But you're giving your business time to earn income, make a revenue, make a profit. And the bank is now watching that relationship on how the property management company is making money. After 6 months, 9 months to a year, now you can do a transfer of ownership and then officially sell the house to the property management company. Now you can get that paperwork filed and done, because why? The house now, the property management company now has a credit history built up. And watch your interest payments drop from when it was under your credit to the business. Why is that? Why will you be paying less money? The business will be paying less money than you, because the business, the property becomes an asset. Because you know why it's an asset? Because assets make money. Liabilities waste money. So everything that's under your name is a waste in the eyes of the bank. Your money just going pew, 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 without no boomerang. Now, look at how rental properties can work anyway. If you was to move out of your rental property right now, guess what that property management gonna do? Find somebody else to put in there, and the money don't never stop. That's what makes this life beautiful. That's what makes this life beautiful. Now, hold up, check this out. Well, do the same thing with the car. If the car paid off, great. You change the title over to the business. Now, the business has a company car. Your name, your personal social security number is no longer attached to it. Now, when you fully become a privatized citizen, your social security number don't mean nothing anyway. Not for real, because you're not a U.S. citizen. You are no longer a U.S. citizen. So your social security card no. But until you get fully transitioned over, you got to start divesting all of your liabilities and turn them into assets. Now, the house becomes property of the business. The car becomes property of the business. Then that way, once that house gets switched over, now you turn off all the utilities under your name, and then you put the utilities under the business. Y'all see where this is getting good? So if your name is no longer attached to the debt, what should that do for your credit? You don't have no debt. So now you got time to work on your personal credit, and this is where you will create another business under your name. This is where you will capitalize all, if you haven't already done it. You're going to turn yourself into a corporation. No longer a liability, because currently your net worth is only to what you make every year. This is why there is a ceiling cap on your loans. This is why you have a FICO score, a credit to debt ratio, because according to your bills, you can't walk into no bank and get $500,000 loan. Why do you think you buying a house that's worth $300,000, but all you had to get a loan for was for 20%? Ain't nobody put that together yet. Nobody put that together yet. You got a $500,000 house, and all you had to get a loan for was for 20%. Shit. Because your income, and if you are not making 2.5 times the amount of the house, you can't even go in there and get 20% of a $500,000 house. You ain't even making 2.5% of the value of the house. You can't pay that back. You can't buy no $500,000 house, and your annual salary is on $185,000. It's mathematically impossible. Mathematically impossible. You cannot do it, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, TikTok. There we go. This is why you only had to put 20% down. But when you are the corporation, see, your business tax and your personal tax, they're not even governed by the same authority. Anybody ever heard of Duns and Bradstreet? I was going to say Brooks and Dunn. Oh, man, Duns and Bradstreet. Your personal is based on Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. And Duns and Brad, I keep wanting to say Brooks and Dunn. Brooks and Dunn must be on my mind. I love country music, y'all. But anyway, Duns and Bradstreet is over here. They're a whole different thing. And they don't even wave at each other. It's the Cain and Abel. Two separate functions. Two separate verses. One is for corporate credit, and the other one is for personal credit. Now, here's what most people do when they say chase after the money, and they have married their personal credit to the business credit. Now you got to close both of them down. Now, how else y'all think Donald Trump was able to claim bankruptcy 27 times? His personal credit never claimed bankruptcy. His personal credit never claimed bankruptcy. He bankrupted 27 businesses. That's how he got out of paying all of those vendors and the brick masons and the carpenters and the contractors. The business went out of business, not Donald Trump. Is that right? It might be as wrong as two left shoes. But in this business world, if you're worried about that, you shouldn't be in. Don't come over here. Don't come over here. Now, let me clear this up, and I'm done. If your business starts to suffer, that's your fault. If you got to close your business, that's not Robert's fault that you got to close your business. That's your fault that you got greedy. You got money drunk. And you started tying in your personal money with the business money. That's your fault. And as a boss, you got to eat all of that by yourself. I ain't gonna eat it with you. And you can say what you want to say about me. How am I giving you information and it's working for me, but it's not working for you? I just told y'all I can't stop making money. What the hell I want to hate on you for? I don't know you. I don't even live near some of y'all. Don't even live in the same state. Why am I hating on somebody from Minnesota? I ain't never going out there. It's too damn cold. Shit, too cold. Now, unless I'm invited out there to do a speaking engagement, then I come. But I'm gonna have somebody send me a Minnesota winter coat. I threw all my winter stuff away when I moved to Florida. But anyway, what I'm trying to get you guys to see is this right here. Everything, all the information that I put out there, we got some questions. All the information that I put out there, the reason why I can speak so eloquently about it is because, thank you, Double D became the number 2 fan in the fan club. The reason why I can speak so eloquently about it is because everything that I teach people and everything that I put out there, it can be found in a book. That's why I can't lie about this stuff. Thank you, Shed 1991. If you guys think that this information is beneficial, please share it. Please share it. Because listen, y'all, this is why it's a waste of time for me to lie to anybody. Everything, ladies and gentlemen, can be found in a book. Oh, if you got a phone in your hand, just Google it. Google it. It's gonna pull up pages across the internet. A lot of people didn't even know, man, you can't be no private citizen. Dude, are you telling me because this is something you know or this is something you feel? I don't deal with feelings. I don't deal with feelings. They were facts. And not only just regular facts, actual facts. If you can't show me nothing in a book, don't tell me your damn feelings. And don't tell me something you heard on social media. That's not going to move me. And it shouldn't move you. If somebody on social media can't validate what they're telling you with paperwork, with books, see, a book in today's time, you can fake websites. In today's time, you can fake websites. This is why they don't want, this is why they're trying to get rid of books. They hardly got textbooks in high school no more, in school, period. Everybody got a damn iPad. Why? Because when you have the right system and infrastructure in place, you can manipulate the information that comes across that iPad, because the iPad is attached to the school's server, not an independent server. All you got to do is go to Amazon. If you don't trust the internet, go to Amazon and type in what you're looking for. There are books upon books. If you got the time, go to Barnes and Noble's, Books A Million. Just go in there and sit. You ain't even got to buy the books in there. You can go in there and sit all day and read. Get you a bland muffin, not a bland muffin, but a bland muffin. You get you some organic coffee or organic tea that's bitter. They ain't got no sugar in there. They got raw sugar and honey. Ugh. But you can go in there and read until you get sleepy. Well, y'all think I learned this stuff? Look, I don't have time. Now, some books I have bought. A lot of books I bought, especially if they were books that made me jump up out that chair. Well, I got to adjust and be like, ooh, I buy that thing. Because I'm finna take that book home and make love to it. I'm going to make sure that thing gets cemented in this brain right here. You got to buy no great big old novel, no Harry Potter book. Start out with what we call short reads. Short read is 126 pages. A short read, even an average reader, you can read a short read in an hour and a half to 2 hours. Information that you needed. Even Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I had that thing read in about 4 hours. It pulled me in. The cash flow quadrant, y'all need to get there. Boy, that thing, that cash flow quadrant, that thing is serious. Robert Kiyosaki, buy that one. Hey, listen, family, if you think this information was good, please share the page. That's all I ask people. Please share it. If you really want to bring your people in with you to make this money, you should have your children watching this. Don't you sit here and learn all of this and hope your children are going to continue your legacy after you die. Because I'm going to tell you what the other side do. They can't wait till their parents die. Oh, they want the cars. They want the BMWs. They want the clothes. They want to be able to go to all of the parties and buy the ice and all of that stuff. They want to get into all the social circles. But as soon as you stuck in the ground, they finna sell all your hard work. And if you don't know how to set them trust up properly, they finna blow their trust fund in 6 months. I promise you they will. 6 months, they're going to blow their trust fund. Because you didn't teach them how money works. You don't teach your children now how money works, they ain't going to have no respect for money. Y'all remember the prodigal son in the Bible? I want my money now. But you may not be around long enough like his father that allowed him to come back. Thank you guys for watching, man. I'm R.D. Muhammad, the Info Plug. If you guys want to learn more about this, learn more about my system is save yourself time, energy, and money. I have already got the roadmap to guide you through the minefield. And I already got the roadmap. It is my goal that you guys get there faster than I did, because I'm telling you where the bombs are. Don't step right there. You need to walk 5 more paces and turn left and then take 3 bunny hops and step right there, and then do a side lateral cha-cha, and then see, I already got all that information for you. It took me from 1995 to 2005 to get here. I didn't make no money from 95 to 2005. 30 years in business. I didn't make a dime until 12 years ago. 10, 12 years ago. 10 was when I met my about. 12 was when I started making money. Because it took me 2 years to get away from the old way of doing business. I'm still out here trying to hustle at the flea markets and do dope boy money. In my mind, I was like, man, if I take 100 belts, I can get to the flea market and I'm selling these things for $25 a piece. That's $2,500. See, I told y'all dope boy money. It's the detriment to a lot of us. I'll see y'all on the other side, man. And if y'all listen to me, man, I'll be there waiting on you. It's lonely over here. Peace. Let me see you 1, 2 step. Oh, no, I'm finna go back out to my same music.
You steal my fries and you steal my Fridays. You turn my 5-minute trips into hours. You sing off key to every love song. Still somehow you got all